Alcohol. Alcohol is one of the oldest substances accompanying mankind since time immemorial. It has been used not only for pleasure, but also for medical, religious, and even financial purposes. Alcohol has a rich and contradictory history. Some nations honored it as a gift from the gods, while others forbade its use on pain of punishment. Today, we will tell you 10 surprising and little-known facts about alcohol that may change the way you look at alcoholic beverages. Prepare to be amazed. 1. Beer is older than civilization. It is generally believed that agriculture originated because of the need to grow grains for food. However, some scientists suggest that ancient people began cultivating grains not for food, but for beer. Evidence of this has been found in archaeological digs in China, where traces of an ancient fermented beverage more than 9,000 years old have been discovered. This beer was made from a mixture of grains, including rice, honey, and berries. In ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, who lived more than 6,000 years ago, left the first written records of brewing. They believed that beer was granted by the gods and had sacred significance. Their texts even described special goddesses of brewing, such as Ninkasi. Brewing was considered an art, and quality beer was used not only to quench thirst, but also as a ritual drink. 2. The strongest alcohol in the world. If you think that vodka with its 40% strength is a strong drink, then you have no idea what extreme spirits exist in the world. For example, the Polish spirit Spiritus Rectificowany is a real record breaker with 96% alcohol content. It is used exclusively for the preparation of tinctures and for medical purposes, as consumption in its pure form can cause serious burns to the mucous membranes. There is also a Scottish Pincer vodka with a strength of 88.8%. This drink is positioned as an herbal liqueur, but because of its strength, it is practically not consumed in pure form. However, the absolute record holder is considered to be Everclear, an American rectified spirit containing up to 95% alcohol. This drink is so strong that in some U.S. states, its sale is prohibited. Even professional bartenders do not advise drinking it without dilution, as it has virtually no flavor and can lead to rapid intoxication. 3. Wine was stored in bricks. Today we are used to seeing wine in bottles or barrels, but in ancient times people used much more original ways of storing drinks. For example, in ancient Rome, wine was sealed in special clay bricks. Inside them, an airtight environment was created, which allowed the drink to ripen without losing its properties. This method was popular with traders and travelers because the bricks were easy to transport and less prone to spoilage than ordinary vessels. When the Romans wanted to enjoy wine, they simply broke the brick, took out the contents, and poured it into bowls. This method of storing wine was a precursor to modern glass bottles and barrels. It allowed the drink to last longer and kept its flavor consistent over time. The most expensive bottle of whiskey. The most expensive bottle of whiskey sold for $2,700,000. Macallan Fine and Rare, 1926. Scotch whiskey is considered the most expensive whiskey in history. In 2019, it was sold at a Sotheby's auction for a record $2.7 million. This whiskey was aged in oak barrels for over 60 years, which gave it a unique flavor and aroma. Only 40 bottles were produced, and each bottle is a true work of art. Some of the bottles were hand-decorated by famous artists. Such whiskey is not just a drink, but a real investment. It is bought by collectors and millionaires, knowing that over time its price will only increase. 5. In some countries, alcohol is illegal. Although alcohol is an essential part of life for many people, there are countries where its consumption is strictly prohibited. For example, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Kuwait, and a number of other Muslim countries have a total ban on the production, sale, and consumption of alcohol. In these countries, alcohol is considered haram, forbidden in Islam, and its consumption can result in serious penalties, ranging from heavy fines to imprisonment. For example, in Saudi Arabia, smuggling alcohol can result in several years in jail, and in Iran, corporal punishment is even used. Interestingly, in the United Arab Emirates, where Islamic law is also in force, there are special licenses for the sale of alcohol for tourists and expats. In Dubai, you can buy alcohol in licensed stores, but only with a special permit. Thus, although alcohol is part of the culture of many countries, it is strictly prohibited in some states, and its consumption can lead to serious consequences. 6. Alcohol can be found even in space. It may seem that alcohol is an exclusively terrestrial phenomenon, but scientists have discovered that there is alcohol in space too. In 1995, astronomers recorded a huge cloud of ethanol, the main component of alcohol, in the constellation Sagittarius. This cloud is so large that it contains an amount of alcohol that would be enough to provide alcohol for the entire population of the Earth for billions of years. Of course, this alcohol is unusable because it is in a gaseous state and scattered over a huge area. Scientists hypothesize that such alcohol molecules could have formed as a result of complex chemical reactions between gases and dust in interstellar space. This discovery supports the hypothesis that organic compounds necessary for life can exist even in deep space. 7. In ancient times, alcohol was used as a means of payment. Today, money is a familiar tool of trade, but in ancient times, people often used barter. In ancient Egypt, one of the main means of payment was beer. Workers who built the Egyptian pyramids received not coins, but a certain amount of beer for their labor. On the average, builders were given up to 5 liters of beer a day, which at that time was considered not only a norm, but also a necessity. Beer in ancient Egypt was not just a drink, but an important part of the diet. It contained nutrients and helped people regain strength after hard labor. Unlike modern brewing products, Egyptian beer was thick, low alcohol, and resembled a liquid porridge. This fact shows that alcohol played a key role in the economy of ancient civilizations. It was valued not only for its taste, but also for its nutritional value and the possibility of long storage. 8. Drunken fish and animals. Alcohol intoxication is not only a human phenomenon. Some animals can also get drunk by consuming naturally fermented fruit. There is a marula tree in Africa whose fruit often causes cheerful behavior in elephants, monkeys, and other animals. When marula falls from the tree and begins to ferment in the hot sun, it becomes a natural alcoholic cocktail. Animals eating such fruit start to behave funny. They lose their balance, become playful, and even have real dances. A similar phenomenon is observed in reindeer that eat mushrooms mucho mora. These mushrooms cause a state similar to alcohol intoxication, which causes the reindeer to jump and behave strangely. In Alaska and Canada, moose can get drunk by eating fermented apples. Sometimes they are found in an orchard with obvious signs of alcohol intoxication. They lose coordination, bump into trees, and may even get stuck in bushes. 9. Water can intensify the effects of alcohol. There is a popular belief among alcohol drinkers that if you wash down alcohol with water, you can avoid severe intoxication. However, this is not entirely true. The fact is that water really helps the body to cope with alcohol, but at the same time it can accelerate its absorption into the blood. This is especially true if a person drinks alcohol on an empty stomach. In this case, the liquid quickly enters the stomach and then into the small intestine, where the main absorption of alcohol occurs. However, if water is drunk during the feast, it can really help to reduce the load on the body. Water helps maintain fluid balance, prevents dehydration, and reduces the likelihood of a hangover. Therefore, the smartest approach is not to overindulge in alcohol and alternate alcoholic beverages with water. 10. Hangovers can be cured with electric shocks. Scientists from China recently conducted an amazing study in which they found that weak electric shocks can help the body process alcohol faster and reduce hangover symptoms. The experiment involved volunteers who drank a certain amount of alcohol. Then they were connected to a special device that sent weak electrical impulses to the head area. It turned out that this stimulates the work of the liver and accelerates the breakdown of ethanol in the blood. This method has not yet received mass distribution, but in the future, perhaps there will be special gadgets that will help cope with hangovers in just a few minutes. Imagine, instead of drinking brine or pills, it will be enough just to put on an electrostimulator and get rid of unpleasant symptoms. Conclusion: alcohol is not just a drink, but a whole cultural and historical phenomenon. It has accompanied mankind since ancient times, used in rituals, as currency, and sometimes even traveled into space. Some of these facts are amusing, some are surprising, and some are thought-provoking. But the most important thing to remember is that alcohol requires responsible consumption. If you enjoy drinking, do it wisely and take care of your health. If you like this episode, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and write in the comments which of the facts surprised you the most.